Hi Khaja, how are you?
I'm doing good. And you?
I'm doing good too. Thank you. So can you tell us something about yourself?
Yeah, sure. As you know, myself, Khaja Mubashiruddin, and I'm residing from Hyderabad. And I have 3+ years of experience in a software testing field as a software tester in a manual as well as a automation testing also. Currently, I am working with one of the insurance service provider web-based application in which we have individual as well as a group insurances and all.
Hmm.
And coming to my roles and responsibilities, my primary responsibility is to automate a manual test cases.
Hmm.
Once we get our story, in that story, by reviewing the description and acceptance criteria, we
Hmm.
have to create a test scenarios, test scripts. In that test scripts, we have to check which are the automation tests which we can write a scripts. So we will write an automation script and we will automate it. And and also I will develop a script for the TestNG framework, and for reporting defect tracking, we are using a Jira test management tool. And coming to the API testing, we are using API for manual. We are using Postman, and for automation, we are using a REST Azure.
Hmm.
And coming to the tools which we are using a language Java, and for UI testing, we are using a Selenium, and for test execution, we are using TestNG. And for storing scripts, we are using a Git repository.
Hmm.
And yeah, these are the tools which we are using. And for the API, as I said, Postman and REST Azure we are using.
Hmm. Okay. Are you aware about POJO class in Java?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So what is that? And what is the significance of that class?
POJO stands for um, uh, it's an old Java object,
Hmm.
POJO,
Hmm.
and it is mainly used for it is mainly used in uh, a Postman
Hmm.
for to create a response body.
Hmm.
Yes.
Okay. See, POJO in Java, it stands for plain old Java object, right? So that you
Yeah.
mentioned it rightly. Now, what does it contain? So a POJO class will contain a variable and their getter and setter methods, right? So POJO class is used to define the object entities, right? So in a real-time interview, they might ask you to, just give an example of a Java POJO class, right? So
Okay.
yeah, so do you have anything in the mind, like what kind of example you can give if you want to explain them about uh, POJO class?
Example.
Hmm.
For example, a candidate name, or a candidate age, a candidate address. We
Hmm.
have to write it string or integer, and we have to convert it to a getter and setter method. Then we
Hmm.
will get
Hmm.
a POJO form.
Correct, correct. Yes. So you can be asked to write a program also, right? So let me share my screen and I can show it to you. You can just explain this program if you are asked this kind of question in a real-time interview. Right? Is my screen
Sure.
visible?
Yes, yes, I can see the screen.
Yeah, so this is a POJO class example, right? It is package, any package name you can give public class, and we have these all as a private variables, right? Then you can see this dot name equal to name, and simple this keyword we have used, and we are using getter and setter as methods,
Yes,
right? Set name, get id, set id,
yes,
get
set
salary,
ID.
set salary, right? So this is how it is being used. Okay. Okay, what are the major challenges that you have faced in the API testing?
Challenges. Mainly because I'm working for the last 6 months only in the API.
Mm.
Mainly, I worked from last 3.7 years in a Selenium with Java, and like we have to verify by adding assertions in the API. That are the main challenges. By doing a validating a body structure in a and body we have and a JSON body and JSON arrays are there. That validation is somewhat typical to me. That programming script is there. That is somewhat somewhat confusing to me.
Okay. Okay. So one of the challenge that you mentioned is about the programming. What is the other
Yes.
thing that you are facing? The challenges, what are the other challenges that you are facing while doing API testing?
The main are the validations only,
Mhm,
because the validation is the main work which we have to do in the API testing.
mhm. Right, right. So see, there are multiple challenges that you will face while doing API testing, right? One of the
Okay.
challenges is the dependency of API. Let's say if you want to validate whether API 2 is working properly or not. So it has some dependency, for example, on API 1. Then you will have to arrange that sequence first, because without executing API 1, API 2 might not, give you the result, might not give
Yes.
you the proper response, right?
Yeah.
Now, second challenge is about the data validation, right? You might get notified that the API test passed successfully. But if your APIs are not returning the correct data in their responses, then that test might fail. So if you're not getting proper response, the data in the response, then it's a failure in that API. But the test might pass, right? That the 200 okay or something like that might come up, right? So that is again
Yes. Yes.
one of the challenge. It is difficult to isolate between the pass and fail things, right? Then
Yes.
one more thing is, sometimes people build irrelevant test, right? For example, uh, you are testing shopping cart API, right? Now, before that shopping cart API, people also sometimes try to test each and everything. They will test, for example, there is an API, inventory API is there, right? Then
Okay.
they have got, add to cart API, right? So
Okay.
these all things. So there are a lot of interdependent endpoints again, which might create a challenge for you. Then
Yes.
one more disadvantage, one more challenge, not disadvantage, one more challenge is at the time of login, you would need some token mechanism. You would need those authorization, authentication
Authorization.
details,
Yeah.
right?
Barrier code.
Yes,
Barrier token. Yeah.
correct. Now, those can be handled in Postman. There are ways to handle, but you would need that information from the development team, right?
Yes. Yes.
Right. So it's again, sometimes the developers are so busy, they might not respond. You might be referring Swagger document also, right? But still,
Yes. Yes.
sometimes you need their help also. You might get stuck somewhere. So these are few of the challenges that you will face while doing API testing. Okay. Now you are telling you are having experience in REST assured also, right?
Yes.
Okay. So how many types of authentication are there in REST assured?
Uh, Authentication,
Hmm.
auth A 0.1, auth A 0.2, and as I said, a barrier token
Hmm.
and key key value, and basic is also one of the authentication is there. Just I remember, but
Right.
mainly we are using a barrier token.
Okay. Fine. See, there are four types of authentication, right? One is basic authentication, OAuth 1 and OAuth 2, then digest authentication and form authentication. So these are the various types of authentication in REST assured.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what is the difference between an array and an array list?
Array and array list. In array, the value will be fixed. We cannot extend the value. For example, if you are giving a 5 array, the limit, we cannot extend it. It
Hmm.
will be get out of bound exception.
Hmm.
Array list, we can add n number of elements to that.
Correct.
That is the main difference between array and array list.
Okay. Any other difference that is coming to your mind?
No, presently I'm not getting any other point. I think you can help me in this.
Yeah, sure. See, length of the array is static. So that was the first and the foremost point that you mentioned. That was correct. We cannot change the length that has been already defined, right? But array list is using the size method to compute the size of the elements. Hence, it is dynamic. You can change
Yeah.
as per your requirement. If any elements are modified, you can handle those via array list because the length of the array list is variable. Okay. Now, this was about size. Then the next comparison will be coming with respect to memory. Who
Okay.
occupies more memory, array or array list? So array list requires more memory to store the elements, right? And
Yeah.
it will take more time to iterate also, right?
Yes.
Then is array multidimensional in nature? Does it allow generics or not? So that is the third point. So array does not allow generics, right? It is multidimensional in nature. But array list, it will enable you to use generic, and it is single dimensional in nature, right?
Okay.
Coming to the data type. Okay, which are the data types that are supported in array? So array will support primitive type or the objective type, or sorry, object type, right? While array list, it will array list, it will support I think primitive type are the ones that it will support.
Okay.
Right. Okay, so these are basic differences between array and array list.
Array list, yeah.
Right. Okay. Okay, can we make constructor as private?
Constructor as private. Yes, yes, we can make it.
Okay. Right. Okay, can you explain the concept of page factory and its implementation? You are using Selenium with Java, right?
Yes.
So can you explain the concept of page factory and how is it implemented?
The page factory we are using with a page object model. First of all, I will go to the page object model, then I will relate with the page object model and the page factory. Okay. First of all, the page object model, it will in page object model, we have to create a separate class to store each and every web element of a separate class. Okay, we are storing all the elements in the page object model, and after we are using a find by element to store it, and to initialize it we are using page factory. To initialize we are using init a page init factory. There is one syntax is there. By that we can create we can initialize that element.
Okay, so what are the advantages of page object design pattern? So POM, what is the advantage of POM?
By using POM, we can, if we have a multiple web pages, with this, for every single web page, we can create a separate class and we can store all the web elements in that. For example, for tomorrow, the developer will change a particular element, so we can directly go to that page and we can find it and we can change it.
Right. So maintenance is easy when you
Yes.
go for POM.
Maintenance is it. Yeah.
Right. Then code becomes less and optimized because of reusable page methods in the POM classes. Right.
Yes.
Then methods get more realistic, right? So let's say if there is an operation happening in UI, for example, after clicking on some button, we are navigated to the home page, right? So method name you can keep like go to home page. So it is readable and any new person can also start utilizing those created methods.
Yes.
Right? So that is the advantage. Okay, which are the ways in order to, let's say, if you have to reverse a string, so which are the different ways to write a program which can reverse some particular string. First, you can tell me the different ways, different mechanism, and then any one of the approach you can take for this program.
We can use a for loop here. So
Hmm.
in for loop, we have in last we are using a I plus plus.
Hmm.
So there we can reverse it I minus minus. This is a common thing which we will use, or
Hmm.
else we can keep the for loop same as it is.
Hmm.
And here we have to add a variable, string variable as a reverse, and reverse is equals to string one and then plus reverse. It will reverse the string.
Okay. And any other method that is coming to your mind?
No, these are the two methods normally which I prefer.
Okay. So let this be an open question for the people who are watching this video, right? How will you reverse a particular string? Which are the different mechanisms? Which are the different approach that one can take to reverse a particular string? Okay, what do you mean by packages? What are the types of packages in Java?
Packages we have, I mean,
Hmm.
a test package, main package, and a resources package.
Hmm.
These are the packages which we have in.
Okay. See, basically, if you get this question in a real-time interview, right? So what are packages or what are the types of packages in Java, right? So packages, there are two types of packages, right? One is the standard or built-in packages, and one are the user-defined packages, right? Now,
Yeah.
what is standard package? So standard package is the package that contains all the libraries, or you can say predefined class files, right? Like core
Yes.
packages, which are starting with Java, extension packages, right? Then let me just recall java.lang sorry, java.lang, javax.sql, right? So that is one of the package, right? Core
Yeah.
packages, right? Then
Core package.
similarly, you will have java.util, javax.servlet, java.lang, javax. SQL, javax.ejb, right? So these are
Yes.
nothing but these are standard packages, right? Okay. Which package is imported by default?
By default,
Mhm.
a library package.
Not the library. It is the
Libraries
java.lang.
all, yeah, java.lan.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
package
that
is
is
imported
have all
even
the
before
libraries.
package declaration. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Now, can a class declare as private be accessed outside its package?
No. 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 We can't ask. We
Right?
can't access it. Yeah.
Because it is declared once as private. So it is not possible to
Private.
access the class outside the package.
Yes.
So, okay. Can you write a code to read data from the Excel sheet? You can use ID, you can use
Yeah.
those.
Sure.
Yeah. So any Excel file you can take, in that you can write some content, and you have to write a code to read the data from that particular Excel.
Yeah. Are you able to see my screen?
No, no, not yet. You will have to click on share screen button, the green
Share.
color.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
the green color button is there, share screen. Just click on that button. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, now desktop is visible.
To read from the Excel sheet.
Yes. Yeah. Can you?
Here we have to give a path.
Yeah.
Here
Open
we have,
Notepad plus plus. I'm able to see your desktop.
okay.
Hmm.
Okay, you are not able to see my word.
No, no, no. So when you are sharing, so select all Windows options. So I would be able to see everything.
Now are you able to see it?
Yes, yes. Now it's visible.
Okay, right. I started file
Hmm.
input stream FIS is equals to new file input stream. Here
Hmm.
we have to give the path of an Excel sheet. And next sheet S is equals to get sheet dot create. We have to give a which sheet we have to take it if a sheet 1. Okay. Next, by using S dot get row. Get row here row number and get cell cell number and get string cell value. Here we will get it, and that we will store on string data is equals to. Yeah, this was a syntax. By using file input stream, we can read the data.
File input stream. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so this is one of the method. What is the difference? Okay, what do you know about XSSF workbook?
Um, Actually, we have two differences: XSSF and XSSL. I think so.
Mhm.
So that was the old version. This was a new version. I don't know exactly what is the difference, but
Mhm.
I know what is it. Can you please help me in this?
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure. So, see, there are two kinds of, the formats. One is XSSF, that is XML spreadsheet format. Okay. One is HSSF, so that is horrible spreadsheet format, right? Now, generally, whenever you use Apache POI, right? So you would be able to have two kinds of workbook, right? So Apache POI, it will provide you a workbook as a super interface of all the classes, right? So you have got HSSF workbook and you have got XSSF workbook, right?
Okay.
Now, what is HSSF workbook? So it will, so methods which are belonging to this particular class, HSSF workbook, they are used to read or they are used to write data to Excel file in .xls format, right? Whereas
Okay.
if you
Okay.
see XSSF workbook, then methods of this class are used to, read, write data in the Microsoft Excel. The format is .xls or it can be .xlsx also,
Okay.
right? So this is the
Yeah,
difference
got
between
it.
the two. Okay. Okay. Now, can you explain me the OOPS concept that you have used in your automation framework in your project? So you don't have to reveal the details of the project, but you have to just tell the logic, the flow, how you have implemented OOPS concepts in your framework. So when I say OOPS
Yeah.
concepts, the four pillars of OOPS. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Please go ahead. Mhm.
Coming to the first oops concept. In the first we have inheritance.
Mhm.
The inheritance mainly I used in the framework by creating a test base class. The test base class, it will be used or inherited in each and every class from which we can extend it. So here we are using inheritance. And coming to the encapsulation, we have a different specific modifiers like a public, private, protect, and default. In our framework, we are using a public. We are using maximum all modifiers, but majorly we are using public and private, because whatever the elements which we have to show to the customer or the UI, if so here we are inheriting by keeping a private. Okay, so next we are using overloading and overriding. Okay, in overriding, for example, a web driver equals to new Chrome driver. Okay, so here here we can change to Chrome driver or a Firefox driver. So here we are doing overloading.
Right. Then
Yeah, these are
what about abstraction?
Abstraction.
Encapsulation.
Yeah, encapsulation. Just now I said encapsulation, in which we are using a public, static, and private. These are the modifiers, access modifiers. And coming to the abstraction. In abstraction, majorly we can have an abstract class and a concrete methods also. So if we are not getting, if the all implementations, or if our implementations are not possible, then we will go for an abstraction. If we don't know any implementation, then we go for the interface.
Okay, right. So can you give me an example? About OOPS concepts, right? So can you give me an example of how polymorphism is implemented as a OOPS concept in your automation field?
Yes. Polymorphism, mainly the polymorphism means a many forms. Polymorphism, many forms. In polymorphisms can be achieved by using overriding method and overloading method. Okay. In overloading, we have a same method in which we have a different return type. Coming to the overriding, we have a different classes. Here the inheritance is possible, and here the return type and also the class name, the return type and the method name will be same. And by overloading we can achieve static polymorphism. By overriding we can achieve dynamic polymorphism.
Okay. Now let's say if any user story in Jira that is assigned to you, and you have to estimate that particular story, how much time you would take to automate that particular user story. So on what basis will you estimate that requirement?
First of all, when I get the story, first I will review the business requirement, exactly what it is there. Then I will write the test scenarios, and after that I will write the test cases. And coming to the test cases which are a repeating number of times, the test cases I will do automate.
Okay. Fine. Have you done non-functional testing in your career?
No.
Have you got an opportunity? No. Okay.
No, till now I didn't got an opportunity on that.
So if possible, before the interview, just go through a few of the basic things about JMeter so that you can answer. So that will actually, help you a lot, because you are having 3 years of experience.
Yes, 3.7.
3.7. So they might ask you. Right?
Sure.
Okay, what is the difference between string buffer and string builder? Hello?
Yeah. I'm thinking.
Yeah.
You are audible. But at present, no.
Yes.
No, present. At present, I'm not remembering that.
Okay.
I know the concept, but I'm not remembering it.
No worries. So let this be an open question for the people who are watching this video. Please pause this video and please answer in the comment section what is the difference between string buffer and string builder, and then you can resume this video. So I'll tell you the differences. See, string buffer is synchronized. String builder is non-synchronized. That is, what do you mean by synchronized and non-synchronized? That is, two threads cannot call the methods of string buffer simultaneously. While it is not the same case with the string builder, two threads can call the methods of string builder simultaneously at one single go at a single time, right? Then string builder is actually more efficient compared to string buffer, right? String buffer was introduced way back, right? Now string builder was introduced somewhat near by to string buffer, right? So these are few of the questions, string buffer, string builder, array, collections list that you can expect in an interview.
Sure.
Okay, how do you keep yourself upgraded? Let's say if any new tool or technology has come up in the market, how do you keep yourself upgraded?
First of all, mainly I will see the YouTube channels like you. There are every video which is getting to new to me. Just I will go to the video. What is exactly it is there in the video, and just I will go through it. And what are the extra features are there in it? Is it helpful to me in my building my career? These are the some points which I will look at.
Mhm. Okay, Khaja, I'm done with the interview. Do you have any questions for me?
Yeah. From last, I think half an hour, we are going an interview. Can you please tell me where can I improve myself?
Yeah, sure.
Which can I?
So you need to practice, Java programming questions. Then the
Okay.
concepts like string builder, string buffer. I'm sure that you would have gone through these concepts earlier, but you just
Yeah.
have to revisit because any type of question can be asked. They might take
Yes.
collections, they might take array, they might take string builder, string buffer. What is the difference? Performance, allocation, whether it is static, size is static or size is dynamic. So those all things can be asked you because you have worked on automation, right? So these
Yes.
kind
Yes.
of questions will be definitely asked you. So be prepared for those things. And I think from Selenium perspective, I think you are fine. But from Java perspective, you'll have to prepare.
Okay. And
Right?
one more
And
thing.
then API testing
It.
also. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. And one more thing. Present situation is. I mean, in this scenario, in on which tool should I focus? Which is new to the market, or much the companies are hiring on that tool. Which tool should be I focus?
So I think, see, if you already know Selenium with Java, you are good with fundamentals of software testing, manual testing, then you won't face such kind of cost cutting issues or such kind of things. Your growth in the market will be there. Now you can also learn JMeter for performance testing. You can learn
Yeah.
Bubsuit for security testing, which
Mhm.
can help you to get more email notifications, get more job notifications. The
Okay.
chances of getting your profile selected on Naukri or on other portals will increase once you will learn all these things.
Sure. Sure. Thank you very much for your feedback.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Khaja, and wish you all the best for your career.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.